Last week, Donald Trump instructed the termination of FBI agents involved in the January 6 prosecutions, as well as a bunch of U.S. attorneys who targeted him. Boy, are Democrats freaking out. But the news right now is that behind the scenes, FBI agents are planning protests, trying to undermine the efforts of the new administration, thus literally proving the deep state. You see, here's the thing, my friends. Donald Trump's president. He is the head of the executive branch. That means he can direct executive agencies to act as he is their boss. These people serve at the pleasure of the president. Now, it is hard to fire government employees because they do have unions, legal protections. There's many things that can be done. But either way, Donald Trump can say, look, for cause, you are being terminated. And I think as it pertains to January 6th and Trump himself, he has great cause. It actually makes a lot of sense. There's a leaked memo where Trump basically said, we do not believe you can faithfully serve this department without bias because of the actions you've taken. And that's fair. You raided his home. Man, I mean, that is an affront. OK, they tried to stage a soft coup. They were trying to put Donald Trump in prison. They still are, sort of. But he's the president now. Well, Elon Musk is threatening to fire federal employees who leak information during the Doge purge. The billionaire responded to a Reddit post claiming his minions are using a specific tactic to identify leakers. Indeed, he is. And they can't do anything about it. They can try, but they can't. Elon's got some special techniques. They're not very complicated, and they're hard to mitigate if you are a leaker. We call this, of course, coloring the water. The example is, or I should say the analogy, you have 3 glasses of water on a table. Beneath all 3 glasses is a puddle of water. Certainly one of those glasses is leaking. How do you figure out which one it is? You put a different color dye in each glass. And whatever color the water on the table turns, you know which glass is your leaker. That is, you leak selective information in certain ways to various individuals, and whichever information goes public, you can isolate it. You can do it as a sorting algorithm, or you can do it more directly, but there is nothing they can do to stop it. Now, my friends, they're planning protests. Some employees were physically removed for refusing to be fired. Amazing. Claiming, you can't do this. It's unconstitutional. It's all legal. But what a lot of people don't realize is that much of how the U.S. government operates has been ad hoc and just assumed. And Donald Trump, as the head of the executive branch, can just do these things. It's funny, right? Gulf of America, as it were. Let's take a look at what the FBI is trying to do as they resist these efforts. Before we get started, head over to castbrew.com. Pick up a nice fine bag of Rise with Roberto Jr. It's a breakfast blend light roast. It is delicious. Light roasts have a little bit more caffeine in them, so it picks you up in the morning. Unfortunately, Ian's graphene dream is sold out. But also head over to timcast.com. Click join us, become a member. The Green Room Show is back. Ladies and gentlemen, the Green Room, we had Inspiring Philosophy, a bunch more. Don't forget. So we're bringing these back. They shouldn't have gone anywhere, but they're back. And we're hanging out with Inspiring Philosophy, talking about Jordan Peterson. And we got a bunch of new members only behind the scenes content with our Green Room Show. So definitely don't miss it. And of course, boonieshq.com. Pick up some boards. Let's take a look at where this all begins, my friends. From Fox News, DOJ directs FBI to fire 8 top officials, identify employees involved in January 6 and Hamas cases for review. Acting Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove sent a memo to acting FBI Director Friday evening. Well, I believe I have the, let me see if I can figure, where do we got this? The leaked memo, as it were. Officer Liu posted this, and it's now been circulated by a ton of different people. I believe it's confirmed. Acting FBI Director Driscoll has acknowledged in a leaked internal memo that a significant portion of the FBI was involved in investigating Trump and his supporters, stating, "We understand this encompasses thousands of employees, but let me pause. Let me read the full statement. From the Office of the Director, colleagues, we understand there's a lot of media reporting and rumors surrounding potential changes at the FBI. This includes reporting and rumors about actions that very seriously impact our workforce. Consistent with our commitment to share information with you as we receive it, Acting Deputy Director Kassane and I wanted to provide you an update. Late this afternoon, I received a memo from the acting deputy attorney general notifying me that 8 senior FBI executives are to be terminated by specific dates unless these employees have retired beforehand. I've been personally in touch with each of these impacted employees. The memo also directs me to provide by noon on Tuesday, February 4th, the following, quote, all current and former FBI personnel assigned at any time to investigations and or prosecutions relating to 1, events that occurred at or near the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, and 2, U.S. v. Hania et al. 24 Mag 438 SDNY. These lists should include relevant supervisory personnel in FBI regional offices and field divisions, as well as FBI headquarters. For each employee included in the list, provide the current title, office to which the person is assigned, role in the investigation or prosecution, and date of last activity relating to the investigation or prosecution. Upon timely receipt of the requested, upon timely receipt, where do we jump off? All right, let's jump here. For each employee included in the list, provide investigation. Upon timely receipt of the requested information, the Office of the Deputy Attorney General will commence a review process to determine whether any additional personnel actions are necessary. We understand that this request encompasses thousands of employees across the country who have supported these investigative efforts. I am one of those employees, as is Acting Deputy Director Kissain. As we've said, since the moment we agreed to take on those roles, we're going to follow the law, follow FBI policy, and do what is in the best interest of the workforce and the American people always. We will be back in touch with more information as soon as we can. In the meantime, stay safe, take care of each other. Well, my friends, they are losing it. Now, here's the thing. The termination of these employees is at Trump's discretion, but they're not taking it lightly. Take a look at someone we got. Jack Posobiec tweeting from Fed News, federal workers actively stating they're declaring war on the Trump admin from within the government. In this post saying, to my fellow feds, especially veterans, we're at war. We watched this goon try to overthrow the government on live TV 4 years ago. Now we're witnessing him to try to overthrow it from within. Let me pause and just say, he got elected. Popular vote, cry more. If we leave, we will be replaced by loyalists. Yeah. Could you imagine trying to run a business with people who are disloyal to your company? That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Read P 2025, Project 2025, and for the love of God, please believe what is written, because that is what is happening. All the executive orders are directly from that document. I didn't dedicate years of my life serving this great country to be bullied into quitting my career by a bunch of fascists. Cry more, you communist scumbags. We are being led by the same types of people our grandparents fought against in World War II. Actually, you're not. You are the people that we fought against. They don't care about us, regardless of the fact that 1/3 of us are veterans and many are military family members. They don't care about your kids, your homes, your bills, your livelihood. They don't care that you're an American citizen. No, they care that you're corrupt. You see, you are a corrupt person and you don't deserve to just have a job. They don't care that annual spending on us is only 4% and won't make a difference if we're gone. What will make a difference is the corruption will be gone. They don't care that we're middle and lower class employees. They want to harm you. No, they want you to stop harming everyone else. Do not give into this nonsense. And remember, your oath to the Constitution and the people of America. I don't know what the future holds, but I refuse to bow down to the fascist authoritarian elite class. Nobody is coming to save us, blah, 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 blah. There's more to the post, but we then have this from Raw's Alerts. FBI agents are reportedly in panic mode and are planning a protest in D.C. According to reports, FBI agents in D.C. are reportedly in a state of panic, and as a protest organized by current and former employees is being planned for Monday at both of the Washington field office headquarters, both the Washington field office and headquarters. The protest is a direct response to acting FBI Director Driscoll's refusal to comply with an order demanding the disclosure of names of FBI employees involved in J6 cases. This is bad news. What I've heard suggested is that Trump simply issue a questionnaire to all staff, that they comply and fill out a form as to whether or not they were involved in any cases pertaining. Instead of having the director do it, have each individual do it. And if they don't, fire them for insubordination. And that's it. And you know what's funny is they may go, I am Spartacus. No, I am Spartacus. And Trump can be like, well, Spartacus is fired. Bye. And you want to stand up and say, I'm not going to fill this out because I will stand with my compatriots. And then Trump will just be like, okay, you're fired too. Do you think we want to keep all of you corrupt scumbags on the job? Let me just stress, if you're in the FBI and they told you that they were going to raid the front runner for the presidential election's home, well, you're complicit. That's it. Goodbye. You should not be working this job. Joe Biden had classified documents all over the place. Did they go after him? No. I wonder why. Because you are corrupt. And if you sat back and watched it happen, you should also be fired. Maybe there are some good people who resisted. And those are who should stay. But spare me. Here we go. This is what Elon Musk was referring to with the OPSEC reminder, use of fingerprinting on emails and notices. Please share. We've received word that Elon Musk staffers are using space characters to identify information leakers. Before sharing any information, please use a checker to detect and remove these. Avoid directly leaking images. Instead, request the information be rewritten and the image recreated rather than shared directly from the source. This is essentially an email watermark, adding a space here, making a typo there, and similar subtle changes to track leaks. Ah, my friends, you try, but alas, it will not work. In the practice of coloring the water, character markers, it's only one technique. Indeed. There's actually something else that's really easy, and that's just selective release of information or type of information. So there's a bunch of different ways to do it, to control information to see who's leaking. And it's actually quite easy. You see, here's the plan. They release an email that seems like a company-wide email, right? But what they'll do is they will put an extra space somewhere in the email. And then there's a very famous story about this. I think Elon actually told the story. One of the emails got leaked to the press, and you could see there's an extra space, in sentence 15. And they said that was sent to John Smith. Because every email was actually sent, they were identical except for one tiny change. So everyone got a unique email. But they thought it was company-wide because all the emails looked the same. There are other things you can do. It's actually really easy. And that is when giving out information, you make slight alterations in the phrasing. And so when they say recreate it, it's actually really simple. Take, for instance, this text. It says, we received word that Elon Musk staffers. So what do? You release that, and then you make another one. We received word that Elon Musk staff are using, you get rid of the ERS. So it looks the same, but it's different. If they recreate it, you'll know which change in a word, but it gets better. Because there's other things you can do too. As I described with coloring the water, you have three glasses, and then you do red, yellow, green. The water turns yellow. You know the yellow glass has a leak in it. That's actually the more brute force method of coloring the water. You tell someone, keep it simple. You'd say something like, hey, we're going to be putting in a bunch of chairs along the bar. So make sure you're here. You then go to someone else and say, hey, we're getting a bunch of stools for the bar. So make sure somebody's here. Delivery is coming. Very similar information, but with a slight difference. And then what happens is, because there's varying degrees of this, employee might be like, hey, did Tim tell you they were having a delivery for chairs or whatever? Oh, yeah, he told me that. Be like, oh, okay. And then you hear somehow your stalker or some other company says Tim Pool ordered a bunch of stools for his bar. And you say, not definitively, but now we know the person we said stool to, as opposed to chair or whatever word you want to use, was this person. There's also the sorting algorithm method. That is, you send a uniform email in blocks. First, you do, let's say you have 10,000 employees. You do 5,000 and 5,000. And they're almost completely identical in every way, except one says staff and one says staffers. Most people will not notice any of those differences. Then when they copy it and they then post, here's what I got, Musk staff are going to be using space characters, you now know sorting algorithm. Section A. You can eliminate everyone in section B and say it likely came from here. Likely. You do that 10 times, you figure out who you've got. And then it comes down to sometimes you don't even leak. You don't even do a mass email. You can email to 10 people and see if any of those leak. It's actually not super complicated, but it is increasingly difficult for anybody to try and figure out how to actually navigate this space. So, my friends, I warn you all. If I should say, not my friends, but the people in the, I don't think the being facetious works here. I'll just walk that one back. But to my friends at the FBI, that was the joke. They're going to figure out who you are if you leak this stuff. If you're corrupt, you're corrupt. Just leave. That's it. You want to go to war from within? They're saying they're going to. Well, good luck. I hope these people get arrested when they break the law. And I'm saying when they break the law, not just randomly. If you want to commit a seditious conspiracy against the government, by all means, you should go to jail for it. I mean, that's what they did to all those J6ers, right? So you don't disagree with me? Mm-hmm. I'll leave it there. Smash the like button, share the show with everyone. You know, we got more segments coming up. Stay tuned, and we will see you all at 3.